Inside your body right now, there are trillions of tiny biological batteries. They are called mitochondria. Every second, they generate the energy that keeps your heart beating, your brain thinking, your muscles moving. And yet, over time, something changes. You wake up a little more tired. Your skin does not recover the way it used to. Your metabolism feels slower. You tell yourself it is just aging, that this is normal. But what if it is not that simple? What if the gradual decline you have accepted is not only about getting older, but about how you live every single day? There is a growing body of research suggesting that when mitochondrial function declines, energy declines with it. And when energy declines, everything else follows. The good news is this: there is a structured three-pillar approach that may help restore mitochondrial function and influence how your body ages at the biological level. Mitochondria are not just abstract biology terms from a textbook. They are the power stations inside nearly every cell you have. Their job is simple, but essential. They take the raw materials from the food you eat and convert them into ATP, the usable energy that keeps you alive and functional. Food is only fuel. Mitochondria are the engine that turns that fuel into motion, thought, repair, and recovery. When that engine runs efficiently, your cells have enough energy to rebuild collagen, regulate hormones, maintain focus, and recover from daily stress. But when mitochondrial efficiency declines, the effects ripple outward. Skin repairs more slowly. The brain feels foggy. Metabolism becomes less flexible. Fatigue becomes familiar. This is why biological aging is so closely tied to cellular energy. It is not just about the number of years you have lived. It is about how much energy your cells can still produce. Mitochondria rarely fail all at once. They do not simply switch off one day. Their decline is gradual, almost quiet. Every day your cells are exposed to small stressors. Oxidative stress from normal metabolism, low-grade inflammation from processed foods and chronic stress, long stretches of sitting, short nights of sleep, constant eating with no real metabolic break. Individually, none of these seem dramatic. Together, over years, they create wear and tear inside the cell. Excess omega-6 oils, when consumed in high amounts, may contribute to oxidative load, but they are only one piece of a much larger lifestyle pattern. The real issue is accumulation. Minor stress repeated thousands of times becomes structural fatigue. Because this happens slowly, your body adapts. Energy dips feel normal. Afternoon crashes become routine. You label it aging. But what you are often experiencing is cumulative cellular strain, not an inevitable collapse. Here's the part most people never hear. Your cells are not passive victims of time. They are built with repair systems. Inside you right now, there are cleanup crews working silently. Autophagy clears damaged cellular components. Mitophagy specifically removes worn-out mitochondria, and mitochondrial biogenesis creates new, more efficient ones to replace them. This means decline is not a one-way street. But these systems are not permanently switched on. They respond to signals. They activate when the environment tells the body it is time to adapt and rebuild. The problem is simple. Modern life rarely sends that signal. Constant food, constant comfort, constant stimulation. Very little metabolic stress. Very little reason for the body to upgrade itself. The capacity to regenerate is still there. The question is whether you create the conditions that allow it to happen. If regeneration depends on the right signal, then the first question becomes simple. What signal tells your body it is time to repair? One of the most powerful is temporary energy scarcity. When you stop eating for a sustained window, something shifts. After several hours, stored glycogen begins to run low. Your metabolism gradually transitions from relying primarily on glucose to drawing more heavily from stored fat. This shift is often called metabolic switching. It is not dramatic. It is not extreme, but it changes the internal environment of the cell. Periods without constant incoming fuel appear to encourage the activation of cellular cleanup pathways, including autophagy. In contrast, eating every few hours keeps the body in a continuous fed state with little reason to prioritize internal maintenance. This is why a simple 16-hour fasting window, including sleep, can be effective. It is structured, sustainable, and does not require starvation. The goal is not deprivation. The goal is giving your cells the space to repair. Fasting creates one kind of signal. Temperature creates another. Your body evolved in environments that were not perfectly comfortable. Heat and cold were not optional experiences. They were part of survival. When you expose yourself to sustained heat, such as a sauna session lasting 20 to 30 minutes, your cells respond. They produce heat shock proteins. These proteins act like internal repair technicians, helping stabilize and refold damaged structures inside the cell. It is not about sweating for detox. It is about triggering a controlled stress response that strengthens cellular resilience. Cold exposure works differently. A brief cold shower or short immersion signals the body to generate heat from within. Brown fat becomes active. Energy demand rises, and when energy demand rises, the body adapts by improving its energy-producing capacity. This is called hormesis, a small, intentional stress that makes the system stronger. Not punishment, not extremes. Just enough discomfort to remind your biology to upgrade. Fasting creates space for repair. Heat and cold create adaptive pressure, but repair also requires raw materials. Inside the mitochondria, energy production depends on specific molecules working in sequence. CoQ10 plays a central role in the electron transport chain, helping shuttle electrons so ATP can be generated efficiently. NAD+, supported by precursors such as NMN or NR, is essential for metabolic reactions and cellular repair signaling. Magnesium acts as a cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions, including those directly tied to ATP production. L-carnitine helps transport fatty acids into the mitochondria so they can be used as fuel. Alpha-lipoic acid supports antioxidant defenses within the cell, helping maintain a balanced redox environment. None of these are magic. They do not override poor sleep, constant overeating, or chronic stress. They function more like tools and building blocks. When lifestyle creates the right conditions, targeted nutritional support can enhance the body's natural capacity to generate and protect energy. Supplements amplify the signal. They do not replace it. Knowing the pillars is one thing. Implementing them without overwhelm is another. This is not about changing everything overnight. It is about building momentum in layers. In the first 2 weeks, focus on structure. Adopt a consistent 16-hour fasting window. Reduce ultra-processed foods that add unnecessary metabolic strain. If you choose, begin with foundational support such as CoQ10 and magnesium. By week 3, introduce heat exposure. 1 or 2 sauna sessions are enough to begin signaling adaptation. In week 4, add brief cold exposure. It does not have to be extreme. Consistency matters more than intensity. Then you allow time to do its work. Over 6 to 12 weeks, many people notice steadier energy, deeper sleep, and clearer focus. This is not a 30-day transformation. It is the beginning of a biological recalibration. There is one final piece that determines whether this works or quietly fades away. Consistency. Most people do not fail because the method is flawed. They fail because they mix powerful habits with self-sabotage. They fast but continue eating highly processed foods that strain the system. They try heat or cold once, then stop before adaptation begins. They push fasting too aggressively, and turn a helpful signal into unnecessary stress. They expect dramatic results in a week and lose patience when biology moves at its own pace. Or they chase every supplement, hoping a capsule can replace discipline. This approach is not extreme. It is cumulative. So here is your starting point. Within the next 24 hours, choose your eating window. Commit to it for 7 days. Nothing more. Small, consistent shifts create biological adaptation, and adaptation, sustained over time, changes how you age.